Hello, I'm Cassia Faye Hayden. Welcome to my channel. And we have a video bomber. Say hi to Siren, guys. Oh, just sweet boy. Now, I put up a barrier between me and him so that he doesn't get too close because that has been a problem with him. Because I don't have a way to get out of between the couch and the table. This side, as you can see, is completely blocked by a wall. So, and I'm incredibly claustrophobic. So, I, and it's not an actual barrier. It's literally just the cane that he's like, for some reason, afraid of. I'm assuming that he may have been abused by, one of the people that had him before me. I don't know. But he acted pretty traumatized when I first got him, and he's gotten a lot better about acting traumatized. He's a lot better, aren't you? Yeah, he's doing a lot better. He still doesn't listen well, but picking up the cane and when I have to yell at him 5 or 6 times, all of a sudden, the minute I pick up the cane, I don't even have to do anything with it. Just pick up the cane, and all of a sudden, he listens. Don't ask me why, but like I said, my guess is that he was abused with a cane before I got him. But um, he's doing much better. Look how sweet he is. But anyway, you're not here for Siren. You're here for things that I find useful for my ADHD and my fibromyalgia. And yes, today I am Superman, or super um crazy cat lady. Super crazy cat lady. Hey, leave the cats alone. Siren, leave them alone. What do you have? What is that? Siren, what do you have? Let me see. What do you got? Piece of card. You can't eat cardboard. You cannot eat cardboard. Chew on your bone. Alright? Alright. So, anyway, and I say crazy cat lady because that's the little character that's at the end of my videos, is the little person, that the animated person that looks like me but has cat ears and is a lot thinner than I am. I tried to make her accurate to scale, but you kind of can't, so you do your best. But anyway, if you guys are wondering why I'm wearing a hat, which in my channel I wear hats all the time, so really, you wouldn't really wonder. But if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it's because it's been cold outside and I have to take him outside a lot. On top of it, it gets kind of cold in here. I have to actually run the oven for heat, and I have some space heaters around the house, but you know, I gotta run the oven for heat. And I just got up and took him out for the first time this morning, a few minutes ago. Now this isn't gonna post for a while, so it takes a while for this to be edited and then uploaded, and yeah. By the time you guys watch this, it won't be morning anymore, but it's morning right now as I'm filming. So I have just gotten up and gotten him out for the first time today, and turn the oven on, because I don't run the oven at night, even though it's colder at night than it is during the day, because in order to get it to produce enough heat, you have to actually leave it open. And I think my cats are smart enough to know better not to jump on it when it's open, but I'm not 100% certain on that, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't want baked kitty. So, yeah, so, and I can probably close it and just leave it like that, during the night, now that I have the front of it all cleared off. It took me a long time to get that done because I was looking for all my cookbooks, and because I had just gotten my Instapot. So I was looking for all my cookbooks that I mean, not all my cookbooks because I have a lot more in storage, but the ones that I have here. Um, and I had like a huge pile of them on top of the stove. And it became an issue because I also had my cocoa pods up there, and the vent for the oven that's on top of the stove melted all of my cocoa pods. Not like completely, but enough to where they weren't usable anymore. And it just started smelling like burnt marshmallows in here, and we kind of had like a little bit of a freak out thinking that my house was burning down from bad wiring. But it was the oven. Thank God. But in order to avoid that issue, I kind of don't like to leave it on unless it can be watched. I'm kind of more afraid of my wiring than I am of the oven, but um, at least I know that if I leave the house um, with the space heaters on, um, I'm not gonna come home to a baked kitty. Even if I leave the oven closed, um, which I have to close it in order to cook over there because there's no counter space in my kitchen. There really isn't. Um, my kitchen is really tiny. So Siren can't come in there because I can't move in there because it's very small. I mean, I can move in there without him in there, but with him in there, I can't. So, it's just like coming over here. I need him to not be over here. Um, but he moved that a little bit. But anyway, so um, I had to clear that all off anyway, so I could actually use the top of the stove because when it's off, I use that for dry my dish racks to dry my dishes. And also it's nice to have extra space to put stuff when you're cooking when you have little to no counter space. But anyway, you're not here for that either. So I have compiled a list of things that on I have a secondary YouTube, I mean, not YouTube, a secondary Facebook. One I use for family, and the other one I used to use for um you know trying to be part of community, I guess, sort of, whatever. Um but I more and more and more stopped using the old one. So now I basically use my other Facebook in order to use the messenger to take notes. So I basically send myself notes from one messenger to the other messenger, and both of them are me. So hey, if it works, right? Paper free notes. But anyway, so I compiled this list of things that help with my ADHD, and then I started to realize that a lot of these things also help with my fibromyalgia. So I was like, why not put that in there too? And there's one thing I forgot to add to my list too, and I'm going to start with that. So this video is about things that I consider helpful for my ADHD and for my fibromyalgia. So before we get started, I want to explain a little bit about fibromyalgia. People don't realize how debilitating it is. They think, oh, it's just a little bit of pain, right? No. No, that's not all it is. Fibromyalgia can have over 200 symptoms. Over 200 symptoms. And then on top of it, it can cause or be caused by other autoimmunes. Now, fibromyalgia itself is not deadly, but it can cause autoimmunes that are. Also, the variety of symptoms that you get with fibromyalgia, and a lot of them are something that you always get with fibromyalgia because it just is part of fibromyalgia. Mordred! I gotta kick my cat's ass. He's trying to mount my kitten. I'll be right back. Get off of her! You were told. Leave her alone. And you, go back to your spot. Go back to your corner. Go on, go. Go. You stay out of it. Go. I don't want my kitties eaten because you want to get in the middle of it. Leave them alone. All right? Be good. You too, Mordred. Be good. All right. I apologize for that. Sometimes you got to get up and make the animals behave. Okay, you can stand here if you want. You can help. You can help. All right. So, a lot of the symptoms are kind of just things that you always get with fibromyalgia, but other things like depend on what you basically just end up with. Like I have IBS, which can be caused by fibromyalgia, but you can also get it from other things also. Like I said, you know, get out of my kitchen, Siren. And you leave her alone. Go lay down. Hey, go lay down. I'll pick up whatever they knock down later. But if these animals don't start behaving, I'm never going to get through this fucking video. Excuse my language, but listen or I'm going to spank you. Jesus. They were like this during my last video too. What the hell is their problem? Every time I film, all of a sudden, lately, they start being assholes the minute I start filming. They're not usually like this. They're not. I don't usually have to flip out on them and get up and chase them down all day long. Lately, it's only been when I'm filming. Don't ask me why. It's like, how dare you film? But anyway, so, some of the symptoms of fibro, are like, you get vertigo, really severe vertigo, where if you even sit up, sometimes you can get so dizzy that you could fall over. It's not safe. So you have to basically be stuck sitting most of the day to avoid falling down. Severe fatigue, and that's not just tiredness. This fatigue is so severe that that when you stand up, you can literally pass out just from standing up. You're so weak and you're so tired. Your limbs feel like cement blocks. It's not normal tiredness. It is a tiredness to an extreme that most people in their lives never feel. So, yeah. It's not just a little bit tired. It is your body literally cannot function because it's so weak and tired. So you standing up is just not a good idea with fibro fatigue. And then there are issues with triggers. Now, I want to talk about triggers before I talk about the fibro flares, because once we get into the triggers that cause the flares, then we can understand better the flares. So You can get triggers from stress, like if you're severely stressed out, that will cause you to go into a fibro flare. You can get triggered from sounds. You can get triggered from vibrations. You can get triggered from weather. Um, you can get triggered from depression or any severe um, negative emotions. All of these things can be a trigger to cause you to go into a fibro flare. And a fibro flare can last anywhere between a few hours to months. Now, this is where it gets fun with winter. When you have fibromyalgia and you live in a place that snows, your entire body is not going to function for that whole season. So that whole season is going to be a flare. So keep that in mind. It's not just a little bit of pain and a little bit of tired and a little bit of dizziness and you know making up excuses and fibro isn't real. Fibromyalgia is real. It is very real. It is very debilitating, and anybody that tells you otherwise doesn't know shit what they're talking about and really needs to get the crap smacked out of them. I mean, I'm not a violent person, but can't say I haven't thought about it. I mean, there was somebody just this Thanksgiving that damn near pushed me to it. I was trying to be as polite as possible. So instead of like flipping out on her, I just like laughed a little bit and was like, "Okay." Tried to be as nice and polite about it as possible, and basically at some point managed to shut up to avoid further conflict because I am terrified of conflict and there's just no reason to fight. She was clearly looking to start a fight. And there's no reason to start fights. There's no reason for it. Can't everybody just get along? But anyway, there's just no reason for fighting. Look for other ways to deal with shit. Just look for other ways. If you can't get along by talking about shit, then just stop talking to each other. Just or find a different topic or something. There are ways around it. So anyway, I'm not gonna explain more about that because whatever. But so with the fibro flare, and also some of these reactions do depend on your medical history. So bear that in mind. My family has a lot of issues with seizures and strokes, so that is a factor in my fibro flares. So that doesn't necessarily mean that if someone has fibro, they're going to have those issues, but because it's in my family medical history, that happens to be a problem I have when I have fibro flares. Like most people don't with fibro, if they don't have that in their medical history, that's not one of the things that's going to happen to them. But if you do have stuff like that in your medical history, fibro flares they go from very debilitating to deadly. So bear this stuff in mind. My medical history also makes my fibro very dangerous. So things that can happen when you have fibro flares. You can get such severe pain that it feels like you've been hit by a car, set on fire, tased, and someone's ripping your burn bandages off before it's even healed, after it's already those bandages have secured themselves to your burn. So it's like imagine you have a wound, a very big gooey open wound and you have a bandage on it and someone rips it off, and it's that agonizing pain of having that bandage that was secured to your wound ripped off, that agony. Imagine that. And this isn't like you might get one of these feelings. No. A severe fibro flare, you get all of these at once, and it doesn't go away. It's not just a little bit here and there. Sometimes you will have them all over your body. Sometimes you will have them in like random spots of your body, like maybe your limbs might for some reason have a shooting stabbing pain. Sometimes you might get phantom numbness for no reason. You might get phantom itchiness for no reason. Phantom itchiness is a very common one with me. That's why I'm always itchy. There's not really anything on me to make me itchy. It's just fibromyalgia just makes me very, very itchy all the time, and I don't get it. But you get phantom, like right now, you get phantom itchiness all over your body. You get, and this is something that can happen when you're not even in a flare. You can get phantom itchiness, phantom numbness, phantom stabbing, shooting pains. But this is all because of how fibromyalgia works. It's not specifically in your muscles or your tendons or your joints. This is something that's happening, like neurons misfiring in your brain. So it sends signals to your body. This is why you get the feeling like you're being tased or electrocuted when you have fibromyalgia, because, and all of these other phantom issues, because it sends signals to your body, your muscles, your tendons, your joints. It sends signals to your body telling it that you're in pain when you're actually, you haven't been harmed. So your brain is telling your body that you are injured, and you're not. So you feel like you're injured, like you've been hit by a car, like you've been set on fire, like you've been tased or electrocuted, like someone's ripping burn bandages off of you, like all of this, and then on top of it, you get the fatigue and you get the vertigo, which are also very dangerous. And these are both common when you're not in a flare and when you are in a flare. And then you can get issues with I'm losing my train of thought here. My mind just went blank. I hate when it does that. Let me remember for a minute. We discussed the... All right. Okay. So I remember now. So another thing that can happen with fibro flares is you can get very severe full body hives. Like you didn't have access to anything you're allergic to. And this, you don't even have to have allergies to have this problem. Also, another thing that fibro causes is a lot of allergy issues. But like I said, it causes a lot of other illnesses, and a lot of other autoimmunes. So I also have eczema from my fibromyalgia, which is another thing that it causes. It causes a lot of skin issues as well, skin irritation issues. So that's another thing common with fibromyalgia. But when you're in a flare, like a severe flare, you can get very severe full body hives. If you're in a more mild flare, you might get a butterfly rash across your nose and your cheeks. It looks like mild rosacea or like sun rash, but it'll like a red across your nose and your cheeks. I get it a lot. I don't have it right now. A little bit, but not bad. It's not bad right now. But I mean, when I get it from a flare, it's incredibly noticeable. I'm sure you guys have noticed it on my other videos when my face looks really, really red. When that happens, it's from the fibromyalgia. It's just a fibromyalgia rash. It's called a butterfly rash because it's supposed to look like a butterfly across your nose and your cheeks. But so that's a little bit more mild than the full body hives that you get, which, like, traditional to any other hives, it's just your whole body is red, and it's sometimes it puffs up a little bit, sometimes it doesn't puff up, sometimes it just turns red and it's really itchy, and your entire body is just red and itchy, and it'll start around your, like, right around here, and then it'll expand to your chest, and then the worse the flare gets, it will eventually cover your whole body. And it's bad. It always starts out with the butterfly rash, but then that progresses to the chest hives and the full body hives. But that's another issue that you deal with fibromyalgia. And then so a lot of the time during the winter, I spend almost all of my time stuck on the couch, and I hate that. I really, really, really hate it, because you can't get anything done from the couch, right? You really can't. But you know, they're mowing at me. So it sucks, but you got to work around it. So with ADHD, I get incredibly bored stuck on the couch. Incredibly bored, because I want to be up doing stuff. I have ADHD. I want to be up doing stuff. And the more I'm thinking about the stuff that needs to get done, the more I want to be up doing it, getting it done. But sometimes with fibromyalgia, you just can't, because your body just can't. Sometimes you're just stuck there. And another thing with fibromyalgia is you have to do things slowly in segments, which you have to do with ADHD also anyway, because your mind gets so distracted so easily, that you kind of gotta pause in what you're doing, and then take a minute and then recharge your mental batteries, and then start going again, and doing what you're doing. And if you don't pause when you're doing your stuff with ADHD, unfortunately, you will forget to take care of yourself and other things that need taken care of. So it's very important to take breaks in what you're doing with ADHD, because I will forget to feed the animals, forget to water them, which is why I try to make sure I do that first thing in the morning right after I take Saren out. I forget things. I forget to eat and take my blood sugar. I forget to take care of myself if I don't take multiple breaks. But I have to do that anyway, because with fibromyalgia, I hate this analogy, but I really do, but it is kind of accurate. So imagine you have a handful of spoons. I know it's stupid, but imagine you have a handful of spoons. Each task, and I mean any task, no matter how small it is a spoon. Every time you do one thing, you use a spoon. You only have so many spoons for the day. If it's a good day, you might be able to borrow spoons from the next day. But then that means you're in a flare the next day and you're not doing shit. So, but that's why why fibromyalgia patients are called spoonies. Don't ask me why they use spoons to explain this analogy. But personally, I prefer the concept of a battery. Like, you only have so much of a charge of a battery when you wake up in the morning. And every little thing you do, it takes away a little bar of the battery. Every little thing. I mean, even brushing your teeth takes away from the battery of your energy. even getting dressed, uh, everything, everything. And it takes someone with fibro and someone with ADHD. What are you chewing on? Hold on a second, guys. What the fuck? Why are you going in my garbage and stealing my pads? You're fucking gross. The hell is wrong with you? That's disgusting. Stay out of my garbage, asshole. That's gross. Why would you... That's gross. Why would you eat that? I apologize. Dog is just something else sometimes. But anyway, with both ADHD and fibromyalgia, every task takes like 100 times longer to do for than it would be for everyone else. With fibro, it's because you're physically struggling to function. Physically. Okay? Everything takes longer because you're slower from stiffness and weakness and vertigo. And some things have to sometimes be put on hold so you can rest, so you can recharge your batteries, or rest because you're in a flare. So that's a factor. And then with ADHD, the problem is we have so much trouble with focus. We have a million things in our heads that we want to get done. And if we see something that needs to get done while we're doing the thing that we're trying to get done, we get distracted and start doing that. So it takes like 100 times longer for us to do anything. So part of it is my fibromyalgia, part of it's my ADHD. So I do take way longer than everybody else to get stuff done, and then I get a lot of bullshit about it from my family, from my PO, who it's really not her business. It's really not anybody's business. It's not my family's business how long it takes me to get shit done. It's my house. It'll get done when it gets done. And when it comes to remodeling and shit, that's my income, you know? That's what that is. That'll get done when it gets done too. Would be nice if my mom would actually stick to her promises when she says she's going to fix something, and not lie and say she's going to fix it and then go behind my back and tell everyone else it's not going to happen, and then turn around and tell me she's going to do it again, and then it just turns out she's not having no intention of doing it. I think I know why she's doing it. I do. It's a manipulative tactic and to screw me over. But and I don't feel like explaining that in this video because I've got a lot to go over. But yeah, so my remodeling will get done when it gets done. Little by little, when I can find ways to afford it. Right now I have a lot of stuff to pay for. I need to get this house winter fixed. I just bought a space heater, which was supposed to be covered by my my OTC, but for some reason it wasn't, because you're supposed to be able to buy space heaters on OTC, but it was not covered, and I'm not very happy that it wasn't covered, because they're supposed to be. We checked every single one in the aisle with the little scanner app, and it said every single one was not covered. So that's very frustrating. So I bought the cheapest one that there was, knowing that I was going to have to overdraft this month for everything else. Overdraft for my power bill, and overdraft for the other things that I needed to buy this month. But I needed another space heater. So I got the cheapest one that there was. And I know that these are good ones because I've had one before, and it was the one that I had before was stolen out of my storage unit. I don't know who went in there and stole my shit, but someone went in there and stole a bunch of my shit. So, I don't have a storage unit anymore. All of my stuff, if it's not here, it's at Sam's house. So, in his sheds. But I know I did not have that heater when I moved my stuff to Sam's house. So, it's definitely not there. It was missing after before I moved into the trailer park that I lived in before I moved my stuff to Sam's house. So it was in the storage unit that I had prior to moving to the other trailer park, and then it mysteriously disappeared out of my storage unit. But a lot of my shit disappeared um over the years. So yeah, people have a tendency to steal from me because they think because I'm 4'10" and legally a midget that it's just like I'm an easy target. I'm not an easy target. You don't want to mess with a tiny woman. You just don't. We may look like we're small and defenseless, but we have tempers. Especially when you're a tiny woman. Treated like that, which all most tiny women are, treated like we're easy targets and we're stupid, and just because we're small and easy to screw with, and yeah. um can't tell you how many times people have used my head as an armrest, which if it's a guy usually tends to get them punched in the nuts. But yeah, on top of it, I'm also a Scorpio. And I have Irish, Scottish, and German in me. So, yeah. Don't mess with the tiny person. On top of it, I also have PTSD and anxiety issues. So, yeah. Um don't mess with the tiny person. It's not a good idea. We have tempers. We try to hold it in, but we have tempers. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm not a violent person. I've never been violent in my life, but you screw me over, you don't ever come into my life again. And if I'm stuck with you because you're family and you screw me over, I don't talk to you very much. I avoid you. um and then they try to turn it around on you, but it is what it is. But yeah, so we have a lot to get through with this ADHD and fibromyalgia stuff. One thing that I want to point out, if you guys have noticed these things, I'm sure you guys have, in every video they're sitting up there almost every time you watch my videos. Now, the stuffed unicorns in general are just decorative because I like unicorns and I like stuffies because they're soft, they're like pillows, they're snuggly, and I like unicorns. I just do. But with and I'm going with this one first because I forgot to write it on my list. But with fibromyalgia, being stuck, stuck on the couch all the time, and with ADHD, needing to have constantly your hands doing something, and or your mind engaged. These are very useful. Now, the boppy pillow, as you can see behind me, I'm sure you guys have wondered why the hell I have a boppy pillow when I don't have a baby. That's a very valid thing to wonder. Well, okay, so they are selling now these giant pillows made specifically for gamers to help rest their arms when they're gaming, so that it's easier for them to play and more relaxing for both their body and their attention. So they could just rest their arms. And you know what they're shaped like? A bobby pillow. I got mine for free. Actually, I have two of them that I got for free. One of them is in my bedroom on my bed. So, and I like to read, so that's another thing. So as you've probably noticed, my infinity loom is sitting on top of my bobby pillow. There is a reason for that. So, I don't really use it for gaming because I don't have any gaming consoles. Everything I have is on my tablet, which is one of the things we will get to with the pillow pet. When you have fibromyalgia and ADHD, it's very useful to have a lap table, okay, for whatever you may be doing, whether it be on devices or reading a book or playing video games or my looming. So the boppy pillow, let's move my loom here for a minute. Now I'm not going to pull out everything and show everything to you. I am not going in the kitchen to drag stuff out. That's not a thing that's going to happen. That can go over there for now. So the boppy pillow, it's two-sided pillow. You know, it's got this side, which is very pretty and floral, and then it's got this side, which for some reason has an elephant on it. I don't really care for the elephant, but it's nice and warm on this side because it's kind of more fleece on this side. So I really like this side for winter and this side for summer. So but my other one is just like the same fabric as this on both sides. So I mean, whatever. And you can buy new covers for them too. I was thinking about that and I haven't gotten around to it because, you know, priorities. I have the covers I have. If they get dirty, I can wash them, whatever. It is what it is. So the boppy pillow, you know, you just kind of shove it on there. And this is what it's kind of used for. When you have a baby, you just kind of put it right here, and then you put your baby right here, and you're just feeding it or letting it sleep. I did have one when I was pregnant, and you know, after I had Avea. Didn't really use it much because at the time, I didn't know how to use it. Now I do. Now that I don't have a baby, now that she's like almost an adult, like months away from being an adult. Because, you know, July next year. Now I finally know how to use the thing. But before I thought, you know, you just use it to prop the baby up. No, there's a lot more you can do with it. Yeah, you can use it to prop the baby up, to try to help her learn how to sit on her own, or his own, if you have a boy. But get out of shit. See, I don't have a whole lot of cupboards in my house, so they're climbing on top of the thing that I have my pans on that go in my toaster oven and knocking all my shit down. Anyway, so yeah, you know, it's useful for babies. But it's also useful for my looming because I don't like using my pillow pets for my looming because it's not wide enough. With the boppy pillow, it's wide enough because this is a big ass. This loom is almost bigger than me. Look at this thing. It's huge. And it's kind of like sticking, the yarn sticking everywhere. But that's easily fixed. But I mean, look at this thing. It's ginormous. Look how big this thing is. Like, I'm lost behind it. Where am I? Where did I go? Where did I go? So, I mean, in order to loom with this, to loom, it's much easier if I have my boppy pillow out on my lap because it, you know, covers the whole length of the damn thing. The huge ass infinity loom. The infinity loom is used for making blankets, shawls, wraps, and you know, all that kind of stuff. But it is very useful for my giant, enormous infinity loom. So, um, and the reason I have it in my bedroom, um, I don't really have a book over here at the moment. So, you know what? Let's just use my Nook, which I've been using for TV. So, I mean, you've got a book. It's a lot easier to read when you have something on your lap. Um, so you don't have to hold it up and be like, you know, it's a lot easier. It's so much easier. Um, so that's why I have one in my bedroom for reading. Um, Now, if I'm sitting up during the day reading, I don't prefer to use the boppy pillow. If I'm in bed, I prefer to use the boppy pillow because I'm like leaned back against pillows and I'm just like, eh. So, you know, it's easier to use a boppy pillow for books um when you're in bed. Um and it's very useful for my loom. Which I'm not bringing in my bed because I do not want to lose my hook in my bed. I don't want to be poked in the butt with my looming hook. That's not a thing I want to do. So, yeah. But so the boppy pillow is perfect for that. For looming, and for it would also be great for gaming too, because I could just like sit here with a controller in my hand and just kind of, if I had consoles. I don't have consoles. I can't really afford them. It's something I want, that I enjoy, but it isn't really a necessity for me because it wouldn't actually help me get shit done. It would keep me from getting shit done because I would be having too much fun with it. Um, but it's not a need. So the games that I have on my tablet, which is what I'm filling on right now. Those are more things that'll keep me busy while I'm stuck on the couch. But if I had gaming consoles, um and all the games that I like, I would not be stuck on the couch. I would be over here playing them, standing up, probably kicking to the kicking of the character on my screen, or if I'm playing like driving games, I'd be leaning back and forth. I don't know why I do it. My body just does it. But you know, having a gaming console just isn't productive for me, even though it is fun. um, so that's why I don't have one. I would love to have one, but I mean priorities. There's a lot of things I need to pay for, and it just isn't something that I need to spend money on when I don't have money to spend on stuff as it is. So, you know, priorities. Um And I know people probably wonder why I spend money on toys when I don't have money to spend on stuff that I need. Um I will get to that. That actually is a fibromyalgia need. I mean, not a fibromyalgia, ADHD need for me. Um Now, again, that actually is on my list. Again, lap table. So, I love my pillow pets. I have 3 of them. Um, this is the one I use the most. The one of them I'm actually using as a pillow on one of my cat beds because I got all 3 of these for free. One of them is shaped like a monkey, and it's not really me. Um, but it's still cute. So I mean, and useful. So I'm not gonna get rid of it. Excuse me. And the cats don't care what it looks like. They couldn't care less. So it's like a monkey. It's a pillow pet, but it's got a monkey head and a little monkey tail. So I have it on one of their beds over there, with a blanket on it, and it's nice and soft for them. But I have another one that's shaped like a dog, and it has a little heart nose and little floppy ears, and it's like perfect for Valentine's Day. So I've really only used that one in February. um so yeah. I do plan on getting more pillow pets at some point, to have uh more variety for when they do get dirty, because when they get dirty you have to wash the whole thing. There is no liner. There's no liner. So you have to wash the whole thing when they get dirty, and um then you don't have it. So I do want to get more, but again, priorities. There are other things that I need to pay for and worry about. Like I do want to get a whole bunch of a whole bunch more leg pillows for my bed. Um but priorities, I already have two, so I have one that I can wash, use when the other one's in the wash. So I bought the secondary one because I had to sew the other one back together, because when I first got Siren, he ate it. One of the reasons he's not allowed in my bedroom. One of the many reasons he's not allowed in my bedroom. Um, but so, um, Sam discovered another reason why he's not allowed in my bedroom. One of the last times I was there. Um, but yeah, we're not discussing that in this video. But anyway, so pillow pets. You can use anything for a lap table, to be perfectly honest. But these are soft and squishy and very comfortable. And look how freaking cute. I mean, that with the between the comfort of it, for the squishiness of it being a pillow for the fibromyalgia, and the softness of it and the cuteness of it for the ADHD, I'm going to prefer pillow pets over any other lap table. This is my lap table. I do have another one for outside, but that's just basically just a little wood table with like a removable washable pillow that velcros to the bottom of it. That one I use during the spring, summer, fall, when I go outside to take Siren out to go potty. That's another issue with fibromyalgia and ADHD. Sometimes my words don't come out right. It's caused by both issues. I don't know when it's happening, if it's the ADHD or the fibro, but both of those conditions can cause that. So, and I'm dyslexic on top of it, so that'll cause that too. Um, but yeah, I have another lap table that I take outside when I go outside with Siren, in the spring, summer, and fall. To just kind of put on my lap. And I have this other thing that came with my arm sling, that works great as a reading lap table for my Nook. Um, that I only put by the back door, because I only use it when I take him outside in the summer at night. So, yeah, lap tables are very useful for ADHD. But this one I use for reading during the day. Um, reading, or if I'm playing with my games on my tablet. We're gonna pretend my tiny little Nook is my tablet. But this works great for a lap table for your tablet. Um, it's kind of perfect, actually. So you can play your games, you can look at whatever you need to look at on there, review my shopping purchases, on Amazon. Whatever you need to do, you can do it on this little pillow pet as a lap table. Now, I am not sponsored to do this video, by anything. This is all my genuine opinion. I don't get sponsored because I don't have enough subs for anyone to want to sponsor me. So, keep that in mind. Nothing I do is ever sponsored. It's just my genuine opinion, how I feel about things. So, yeah. So, now back to my list. Now that I've discussed the lap tables and pillow pets and the boppy pillow, which are technically for me all just lap tables. Back to my list. All right. So this one I haven't actually tried, but it was suggested on another ADHDers videos. And I haven't tried it because I can't afford to try it. So I can't afford virtual reality. I would love to try it because it sounds freaking awesome. But alas, I don't have the income to buy anything virtual reality. So, yeah, it is what it is. You know, I just thought I should mention it for anybody who has ADHD who might have the money to be able to afford to buy virtual reality stuff and try it. Let me know if it works for you. Aromatherapy. Now, this is something that I have tried and I do very much enjoy it. Um, I love incense. All of my incense is currently in storage. Um, but I also really love essential oils, which my giant containers of essential oils, which I actually bought from the dollar store way back when. Um, it's actually made for those like little incense burner things where you put the wax in there. That's like the liquid version of the wax. But you can use it in humidifiers too. So that's what I use it for. Um, and you don't want to like get it on your hands and like eat afterwards. You need to wash your hands after handling it. Um, because it's not food grade. Um, but you kind of got to be careful with any essential oils anyway. But this is like getting the cheap version of like those little itty bitty essential oil bottles. Um, is like getting those for a lot less, but you get a shit ton more. I don't know if the Dollar Tree still sells them because I have not been there in a long time, but I used to buy them there a lot. So um, I do enjoy putting a few drops of that in my humidifier and just smelling the beautiful scents, and that does help relax me quite a bit, and it helps relax my mind. And it's good for fibro too, because anything that's relaxing for your mind and your body is good for your fibromyalgia, because the more relaxed you are, the less likely you're going to have a flare. So again, a lot of these things that I wrote down for ADHD are also very helpful for fibromyalgia. um TV. Now this one is good for both for one rate for I'll ex- I'll explain. I'm just going to keep tripping over myself. TV is good for ADHD because um when I am trying to focus on all the things I need to get done, and I mean, it's not going to all happen in a day because we over plan to do stuff, and it doesn't happen. And like I said, with fibromyalgia and ADHD, um, everything is 100% slower than it would be if you didn't have one or both of those conditions. I have both, so unfortunately for me, everything is slower. But um, if I try to figure out what I want to do, um, first with all the stuff that I need to get done, if I focus and just think about everything I need to get done, I just keep running the list of things I need to get done through my head over and 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 over again. And I can't focus on one thing. I get so overwhelmed by the list of things I need to get done that I end up not getting anything done. I end up just sitting, thinking about it, obsessing over it, freaking out about it, and it never ends up getting done. I just sit and think, and it doesn't progress further than that. With the TV, it gives me just enough background noise, and I've tried music. It doesn't work. It might work for you, does not work for me. I have to have uh, an actual story going. And I know what you're thinking. How about audiobooks? No, audiobooks do not work for me either at all. I cannot focus on an audiobook. It goes in one ear and out the other. I have no idea what's going on. It doesn't work for me. The reason why TV works for me though is because um if you watch something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, eventually what's going on becomes embedded into your mind. So every time you turn that on, you can remember what's going on as you're listening to the voices. So if I turn on Charmed or Supernatural or Smallville, things that I have watched like a gazillion times, like so many times that I have every single episode memorized. If I turn that on and I have the speaker for, I don't even have to have my tablet in the same room. I mean, my Nook in the same room with me. But if I'm watching something I haven't seen that many times, I will bring it with me and just bring the speaker with me so I can glance over at it while I'm doing the stuff I need done. But, that's why it's great to have something that's cordless, that I can bring with me into other rooms. I am starting to realize that having my giant ass TV that I could not see from the kitchen, even though there's like a bar cubby hole in the kitchen wall, so I should have been able to see it. I could not see it from the kitchen, so it was not useful having my giant ass TV. So it's kind of a blessing that the cats destroyed it. Because as it turns out, it's not useful for me. I can't even see it from the kitchen. I can't hear it from the kitchen. I have no idea what the hell's going on. But yeah, if I'm watching something like Charmed, I can bring the speaker into the kitchen with me and I can just, do what I'm doing in the kitchen while listening and just play the episode along in my head because I know what's going on. If it's something I haven't seen before, I can prop it my Nook up on on the cat's food counter, and with my speaker, and I can just glance at it while I'm doing what I'm doing, and instead of obsessing over all the things that need to get done, I end up just doing. I go straight to a task and then I do it. I might still get distracted by things around that task and do them also, but I still am getting that done. So, it's so much easier because then I can, instead of obsessing over something, over a whole list of stuff I need to do on the couch getting nothing done, I can be in there actually doing it, instead of just being bombarded and overwhelmed by it. The TV, it really, really helps me get stuff done. It really helps me focus on what I'm trying to get done, instead of the whole list. Just do. And then fidget toys. That gets into why I spend money on fidget toys, and interactive pets. I want to do those together because it's pretty much the same. Why I spend money on these when I don't have money to spend on stuff. Why do I spend so much money on fidget toys and interactive pets when I don't have money to spend on things? When I have other things that I do really need to spend money on. Why? Not just because of the channel, which is a pretty valid reason, because I am buying fidget toys and interactive pets for my channel in order to promote the understanding of ADHD and fidget toys and why they are needed, why they are necessary, excuse me, and why people with ADHD as adults should not be judged for using them. They are useful for us. So, okay. Um, so with the interactive pets, if it's something that you don't have to touch, um, then it actually, like, it does the same thing as the TV. If it's something that you have to touch, that I would use as like something I'm doing during a break to keep my mind entertained so I don't get burnout. Um, so interactive pets are very useful for like mental burnout breaks. So I'll play with an interactive pet while I'm trying to um recharge my mental batteries, recharge my physical batteries, and just like keep me entertained a little bit while I'm getting ready to go back to getting stuff done. These are very useful, and they're very useful also for winding down during the night because I could use the TV to wind down. I could use the interactive pets to wind down, which sometimes lately I've been having to use the interactive pets to wind down more because for some reason, even though I pay my Verizon bill, um, I keep having problems where my hotspots keep going out. It seems to only happen at night, but it seems to happen almost every single night, and it lasts sometimes for hours. So I'm getting kind of frustrated with that and sick of it. Um, I'm about ready to bite their heads off over it. Um, find out what the hell's going on. But it's not like they're actually shutting it off. There's got to be something wrong going on where like maybe the towers are taking too much um dealing with too much activity at one time at night because a lot of people are winding down at night. So um, that's my guess of what it is. But if it's been happening almost every day for the last 2 months, they should have fixed it by now. Um, and I've had this problem before, but it's very frustrating. So when my hotspot isn't working, my TV doesn't work. So, because everything runs off of my hotspot. So, um, when I can't watch TV, I start getting antsy. Um, when I'm trying to wind down for the night. If I'm trying to wind down for the night and I'm trying to watch TV to wind down and I don't have it anymore, I get really antsy and frustrated and I start getting very, very jittery and I can't think, I can't sit still, I can't function. My mind starts going nuts. I start freaking out about when it's going to be turned back on. Um, and I mean, when you turn off your devices, uh, to do other things, you're not thinking about whether or not it has service. You're not thinking about whether or not um it needs to be on right that minute. Um you don't care cuz it's put away. But when it's not working because for some reason the hotspot is out, that's when you go into panic mode because you're like, what's going on? I need this. This needs to be working. What the hell? I need it right now. It needs to be working. I need it to work. What's going on? Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. So you spiral. So interactive pets are very helpful for this because then it can distract me and get my focus on the interactive pet and a little bit off of the internet. And I do kind of freak out a little bit about it too because um, Sam gets very worried about me when he can't get messages through and when he's not getting messages from me. For good reason, because I have a lot of issues around here, not just with my health, which is a good reason to be concerned because is my health. I have some dangerous health issues that I could end up, you know, needing to go to the hospital, you know. You never know. So he gets worried over that. And then, you know, it's not exactly, I don't exactly live in the safest place. So that's another reason why he gets worried if he doesn't hear from me, because somebody could break in and attack me and hurt me or kill me or whatever. Um, he likes to know I'm safe. So he gets very scared if he can't hear from me, and for good reason. So that's another reason why I panic about my hotspot not working. But having the interactive pets does help calm me down when I'm spiraling because my hotspot isn't working. I will try to hook up to an unsecure network, which I don't like to do, but just to make sure that he can hear from me and know that I'm okay. Um, but the interactive pets really do help. And then fidget toys. Um, Fidget toys do all kinds of different things for ADHD. Um, and they're both helpful. Like I said, they're both help. The interactive pets and fidget toys are both helpful for fibromyalgia and ADHD. The reason they're good for fibromyalgia is, again, you're stuck in one spot, not able to do anything. So you need to have activities. Things to keep your hands busy and your mind busy. So, you know, when you're stuck and unable to do anything, um, you need to have just stuff to do. But the reason why fidget toys are good for ADHD is because when you're playing with them, they're keeping your hands busy so you can think better and process thoughts easier. And with that issue, it also helps you to sometimes be more quiet. Um, my video games are also very helpful for me for that. The which I think that's no, I don't have that on my list, but I don't know why I did not put my my video games on my tablet on my list, but I did not put that on my list. But so that's actually very helpful too, because that keeps my mind and my hands busy, so I don't over talk when I'm around Sam. Um, because I can't be around people and shut up. So, he asked me why I brought my backpack to Thanksgiving. I brought my backpack to Thanksgiving because my tablet was in there. I also brought some drinks. Um, but I ended up not actually pulling out my tablet, which I kind of wish I would have, but that ends up tending to look antisocial, so it's probably good that I left my tablet in my backpack, but because I don't want to look antisocial, but I also don't want to be the problem where I can't shut up. So, um my tablet is very useful for being quiet in when I'm in social situations. It does appear very antisocial and rude, but Sam understands that when I pull it out, I'm trying to be quiet for him. He knows that I'm not trying to ignore him or avoid conversation with him. I will still be able to have a conversation with him, but he'll actually get more words in when I have my tablet out and playing a video game. I put my a little bit of my focus in the video game, and I am able to control what comes out more. Um, so it's very useful for me for that. And having fidget toys to interact your hands and your focus are useful for that also. Another thing that fidget toys are very helpful for is sometimes with ADHD, you actually can get very depressed from it. Um, or you know, the, the issue with ADHD is, we have to be constantly stimulated because, I can't remember what it's called. I was just, I was just talking about it. No, I was watching a video where somebody was just talking about it, and I know what it is. Dopamine. So, the problem with ADHD, what makes us the way that we are, um, we, our bodies don't produce enough dopamine. So we get incredibly bored incredibly easily. So we constantly need to be stimulated, our minds stimulated in order to just function, to be happy, to function, and to get things done. Yes, we have our highs where we are very, 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 very hyper and can't shut up and excited. When we get excited about things, we don't get excited like normal people. We get excited like over the freaking top excited. So, um, like really excited. So, which makes fidget toys, fidget toy videos very fun. So that's why I enjoy, one of the reasons I enjoy doing them, aside from getting the word out there that they are useful um, for people with ADHD and not something to be ashamed of and not something to be judged. Um, it's just fun, you know? It's fun to do the videos of them. It really raises my dopamine and to a monumental level because it makes me super excited. But fidget toys are very useful for increasing your dopamine levels and helping you to have uh, more positivity and have more happiness, and they're very, very, very useful in just like every way for ADHD. They can calm you down. They can keep your hands busy. They can help you think better. They can help you be quiet more. They can help raise your dopamine so you can be happier and more excited about things. And in every way, fidget toys are just good for ADHD. So, moving on, this thing is very useful for both fibromyalgia and ADHD. The reason why this is useful for ADHD is almost sort of the same reason for fibromyalgia. So, quick and easy cooking. So I have two microwaves. I have one of those toaster ovens that does everything, and I mean everything. You can even make fruit roll-ups in it. I haven't yet. I just bought stuff to do that yesterday. I haven't gotten around to making them yet because I wanted to get this video out. I made this list for this video, I think 2 weeks ago, and still haven't gotten around to do this video because I've been busy. So, so that's why, and that's why I didn't do a Sunday video, because I went to the store yesterday. So I was like planning and prepared to go to the store. We weren't 100% certain that we were going to go to the store, but I like to be prepared anyway, just in case, because I don't want to be not ready when he says he's ready to go last minute. I want to be prepared. The plan was, if he didn't have the energy to go yesterday, then we would go today. But thankfully, it's done and over with, so now I can do my video. God, shopping is hectic sometimes. And for some reason, his apps on his phone just did not want to work for him, and it was getting very frustrating for him. I kind of feel really bad about it. I mean, I have problems with apps doing that shit too, and it's very annoying. But so, and then I have my Instapot, which I just got, and I use that as much as I possibly can. I use it, I eat it, and I eat what I made in it, and then I wash it, And as soon as it's washed, I make more stuff in it. I love that thing. I absolutely adore that Instapot. Oh my god, I love it. um, but it's important when you have ADHD and fibromyalgia to have, and with diabetes also, not just with ADHD and fibromyalgia, but also with ADHD also. I mean with diabetes also. Um, because with ADHD, we want things quick and easy and fast. Because we will forget to make food. We will forget to finish making food. We will forget to check on our food while it's cooking. We will forget. And then we will have no food and a possibility of burning down the house. So, with fibromyalgia, you get too weak to cook, way too weak and tired. And you're lucky if you can get up and cook, even with the easy things. And I'm sorry, my lighting is going away. I forgot to turn on lighting. So I'm using the sun, and now my screen looks blue, and the sun has come back. Okay. Um, but anyway, so with fibromyalgia, um, you're just too weak and too sick to function. So the easier the better. Um, and I kind of don't like having to make um microwave stuff all the time, because one, it's not very good for you. Two, after a while it starts tasting like cardboard. So, and there goes the sun again. But you know that's why I have the toaster oven and the Instapot, so I can make other things than just microwavable stuff. And you can make certain things in the microwave um that are uh more Instapot type stuff, like spaghetti, but it takes forever for the noodles to cook in a microwave. So it's really not very useful, um, for making noodles, because it takes way longer than it would on the stove. Um, so it's just easier to just put it in the Instapot. Instapot is way quicker than making it on the stove, like way quicker. Everything is faster, way faster. I put food in for 15 minutes. I come back and it's done and ready to eat, like a whole meal in 15 minutes. I love it. Another reason with the diabetes, why it's good for me for diabetes, is because when my sugar's low, I can't wait for food. I can't wait. My sugar's already low. It's dangerous to allow it to get lower. Um, when I gotta eat right now. So having microwave and the toaster oven and the Instapot, that is like, I'm automatically gonna right away have food to eat when I need it. So the three different health conditions that make having quick and easy, fast cooking accessible. And um, the reason I love the Instapot and the toaster oven so much is because I can make so much in there that's just meal quality food, not like stuff that you just throw in from that you could use the microwave for. Um, but actual real meal quality food. And like uh I can make hamburger patties in the toaster oven. I can put a whole chicken in there. There is a rotisserie for this thing. I can put a whole chicken in there and make a chicken in there. Um, I can make French fries in it because it has air fryer setting. I can bake things. I can do whatever I want in there as long as it's small enough to fit. I can't put a turkey in there, but that's the only one of the only things I can't make in there. But I can make so much in there. A few months ago, I made a roast in there, and oh my god, was it good! um, corned beef roast with caramelized caramelized sauce made from brown sugar and mustard. My God, it was good with squash and what's that other one? There was squash, and then there was another one, another thing that's like squash, zucchini, squash and zucchini, and carrots and potatoes. Oh my God, it was good. It's my grandma's recipe, made in the toaster oven. So, I mean, I love that thing. I love that the toaster oven. I love the Instapot. I can make so much in the Instapot. I can make casseroles. I can make pasta. I can make soup. I can make like dump a bag in their meal, like those voila meals. I can make hamburger helper in there. Um, I mean, mac and cheese. I mean, there's so much you can make in there. Like, I mean, I made my tater tot casserole a few weeks ago. Last month, I made tater tot casserole. I made ziti in there. Um, and I made chicken Alfredo in there. I mean, that thing is just amazing. I love that Instapot. It is so useful. You can even use it for canning. You can use it as a slow cooker. I could probably make my ribs in there. I don't think the bowl is as big as my slow cooker that is in storage, so I might end up using my slow cooker to make ribs when I get that back from storage. I mean, it's not like it's being kept from me, it's just being stored for me, which is very useful and I appreciate it. Free storage for as long as I need it. Isn't that sweet? That is so sweet. Now that is a very caring boyfriend right there. But yeah, so having access to quick and easy ways to make food, very important for ADHD and fibromyalgia, and also for diabetes. Okay, and this is getting into the nesting, which is also good for both fibromyalgia and ADHD. Drink setup to... Really? I was reading that. There. Okay, drink setup to remember to drink enough. So, every morning, I have like these coasters set out on my table. And every morning I pull out all of my drinks for the day. All of my drinks for the day. Because if I don't, I forget to drink. And then I end up thirsty and my throat starts getting sore and it's just not good. So I mean, and I drink a lot. It's just I need to make sure I have it all out so I remember to drink it. Because if I don't have it out, I'll think I drank it and I didn't, and I'll not drink anything for the whole day. So I apologize about the lighting with the sun. I'll be better about it next time if I can remember. I was just very excited to get this video done for you guys. But so the reason why it's good for ADHD to have just kind of drink set up on your table with everything you're going to drink for the day. And I do this with my snack too. I pull out my snack for the day and put that next to my drinks. And my insulin is in that area. My supplements and my pills are in that area. So I remember to take it. So the reason why it's important to do nesting like this for ADHD, with the drinks and the snack and the meds and the insulin, the reason why it's important is because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. If you don't see it there, you will forget that that you need to use it. You will forget that you even didn't use it. So I mean, it'll completely be out of your mind, be gone, like it never existed. So that's why it's important, why nesting is important for ADHD. Why nesting is important for fibromyalgia. Um, when you're stuck on the couch, can you really realistically go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to the fridge to get your snack and your drinks all day long? No, you can't. So, um, making sure you have it all out next to your nest, in your nesting area, for both fibromyalgia and ADHD helps make sure that you get your meds and your snack and your drinks. So whether it's an ADHD issue where you're forgetting to go get it, or whether or not it's a fibro issue where you just can't because you're stuck there, um, you already have it there. So it's already easy access for you. So nesting with drinks is very important. Nesting with a snack is very important. I even have peanut butter over here, for that, for if my sugar gets low. I have snacks over here for, like, not my actual midday snack, but snacks over here for if my sugar gets low. I prefer to actually have a meal, but but if my sugar drops and I need to bounce it back up again, it's important to have something nearby that I can quickly grab. Because again, another thing with diabetes that is very much like fibromyalgia, when my sugar drops, I can't move sometimes. And sometimes it's not safe to, because my legs start shaking, I get weak, I get dizzy. And I can tell the difference between the fibro symptoms and the diabetes symptoms. But it's very similar. There's a lot of similar symptoms with diabetes and fibromyalgia that make them debilitating. So it's very important to work around those things. So having snacks nearby for when my sugar drops is very important. Plus, I mean, if I'm in a fibro flare and my sugar drops, how much am I really going to be able to move? Right? So that's another reason why nesting is important. Another nest item that I have right on my table within reach, lotion, chapstick, meds, insulin, by drinks, as reminder to use. I already mentioned the meds and the insulin, but having lotion and chapstick over there also is very important, because my hands get very dry and very chapped, and sometimes they start peeling. The skin starts peeling, and then sometimes they get really itchy. My cuticles get very hard, so I have to keep applying lotion multiple times a day, to try to help soothe my skin, because like I said, I do have eczema. So very important to have lotion in my area, to constantly have access to. In the winter, I mean, this is even good during the summer, because you know your lips still get chapped during the summer, but during the winter, we know that the house starts to get really, really dry from the heat. Like I said, I have my vaporizers over here, and they do help, but they shut off after a while. And still, you know, you got to keep your lips kind of hydrated. So kind of important to always keep chapstick over in your nesting area, so I can always apply my chapstick and be good to go, which honestly I need to apply right after this video because my lips are a little bit chapped. Snack out with drinks as reminder to eat. We already discussed that. Um, okay, this is probably more useful for people who are disabled than really everybody. But yeah, it's very important to put your keys somewhere where you know you are not going to misplace them, where you know that you will always have them with you. Um, and you're not going to forget them at home. You're not going to forget them anywhere else. You're not going to get them lost in the bottom of your purse, which we women know that that is a problem. Every time you put them in your purse, they find a way to migrate to the bottom of your purse. It doesn't matter what you put in your purse, it always finds its way to the bottom of your purse. And then you have to dump everything out to find the one thing that you're looking for. I mean, I swear to God, a woman's purse is like the dryer with the missing socks. Where did the socks go? Nobody knows. But it's the same thing with a purse. Purses are just like that. It's like, where did that go? I put it on top and now, oh my God, the purse ate it. Now you gotta dump everything out to find it. And yeah. Um, but, uh, but yeah, so I put my keys on my cane because I mean, it's not really safe for me to go out in public without it. Um and I mean, I know when I leave the house most of the time Sam's with me and he could catch me if something happens and I fall. And most of the time we're leaning against a cart anyway, so it's not quite as needed at the grocery store, but it's still very important to have it with me just in case. It's better to have it than not have it and then end up falling down and hurting myself because I didn't have it. So, with my hip issues and my knee issues and my back issues, it's just smart to always have my cane with me wherever I go, every time I leave the house. So, every time I leave the house, I bring my quad cane, so my keys are on my quad cane. I may or may not bring my purse, so putting them in my purse where I'm going to lose them in the bottom anyway, just isn't a logical solution. Um, I may or may not bring my wallet. Hooking them to my wallet, not a logical solution. I'm not going to bring that everywhere with me. And I will forget that it's there. So, because my wallet does have like a strap. So I can take my wallet with me because it doubles as a purse. So, without my purse, it doubles as a purse. If I'm going somewhere quick and I'm not gonna need my purse, then I know I'm not gonna need my purse because I have snacks in my purse in case my sugar drops. That's one of the reasons I bring my purse. I also have an inhaler in there in case someone is wearing way too much perfume and decides to kill me with their body spray or their perfume or their cologne. Yeah, it's important for me to have my inhaler also. That's in my purse. Mints are very important for me. So I have mints in my purse. I have washable handkerchiefs in my purse for whatever issue I might have, whether it's an allergy issue or a weather issue with my nose. So lots and lots and lots and stuff in my purse for essential needs. But I don't always bring my purse with me. So what do I always bring with me? My cane. So I hook my keys to my cane, and if you guys have something that you know you always bring with you, no matter what, I suggest that you find a way to attach your keys to that, whatever it is. If it's a little phone pouch, hook your keys to your little phone pouch. Find a way to make sure your keys are always, always, always with you. Something that you are never going to leave behind. Just better safe than sorry. You don't want to lock yourself out of your house. Just not a good idea. Me, I kind of have to have my keys to lock my house, but, you know, thankfully, I can't lock my door without my keys, but, you know, it is what it is. Just makes it easier just not to forget them. Um, all stuff to leave house in or near grocery bin for quick, don't forget access. Okay, so I have this big grocery bin. And the reason I have this big grocery bin is because when we go to the store to buy groceries, we don't buy a little bit of groceries. We buy a whole month worth of groceries. So we we realized that instead of just taking bags back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, getting bags from his car, it's just easier for him to just put it all in a bin. And yes, sometimes there's not enough room in the bin and it just kind of goes next to the bin. Bigger things that would have fit in the bin if I didn't have so much shit, but but ends up, you know, like pop. If there's not enough room in my bin for pop or cat food, or dog food or whatever, it goes next to the bin. And you know, bigger things are easier to put over on the porch, for me to bring in than a whole bunch of little bags. So we just fill the bin up, with all of the bags, and he transports that to my porch and then gets whatever else I bought that's bigger and puts that on the porch. So it's quicker and easier for him to transfer to the porch from the car. And it actually also makes it easier for me to get it into the house because it's all in the bin. All I have to do is drag it. I drag it in and it's in. It's like almost everything I bought is already in because it's in the bin. So it's useful for both of us. It's just convenient for both of us. It's on the porch. Once he puts it on the porch, it's easier for him to move. It's easier for me to move. Like, so much easier. So in my bin I have my purse, obviously. I have my wallet. I have my over to Sam's house backpack with stuff for me and stuff for Siren in there. And then you know, I'll put my bottles in there when my bottles are full to remember to take those back to the store. But you know, I kind of make sure everything that I'm going to bring with me anywhere is in the area or of the bin or in the bin itself, so I can quickly have access to everything I need. If I'm bringing a package somewhere, I put that in the bin. If I have something that I want to transport somewhere, I put that in the bin. Anything that is in any way leaving the house for any reason other than garbage, because garbage does not go in the bin. Garbage goes somewhere else. But if I'm leaving the house with something and it needs to go with me and Sam somewhere, it goes in the bin. So I remember to grab it when I need it. I mean, if a bin doesn't work for you, that's fine. You'll figure out a way that for things to work for you. But the bin works for me. It works for us. All dogs out of house stuff on hook by door so I don't forget. We actually have 2 areas for this stuff because leave her alone. I gotta go save the kitten from Mordred. I shall be back. Stop it! Get off of her. Let her go. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Dude. She's mine. Can't have her. Mine. Man, he had a death grip on you, girl. Poor thing. Poor little thing. It's okay. I got you. No, you're going to leave her alone. You were told. Leave her alone. They're all in heat over here, so the boys won't leave the girls alone. And because she doesn't know how to defend herself yet, because she's little, she is the one getting attacked the most. So where were we? Oh yeah, the dog stuff. So we have two areas for this stuff because some stuff is made specifically for when we leave the house, when we leave to go somewhere. Like if I'm taking him somewhere, just me and him, like my check-in every month, he has, or like if I'm taking him to the mailbox or to take out the trash, he has a vest that lets people know that he's my service dog and to not mess with him, to leave us alone. So that's very, very important to make sure I have by the door for him. We have leashes over there. And there's this one leash that I don't put that on, the vest on him when we go with Sam, because I mean, when we're over at Sam's house, we're not really, he knows he's my service dog. He don't need to be told. But we're not really over there for Siren to be doing his job. It's basically to spend time with Sam and let Siren spend time with Willow. I get time with my boyfriend. He gets time with his girlfriend. Alrighty. So, I mean, she's fixed, so there's nothing romantic going on there. They're just friends, you know, playing, just running outside and playing around in the house, you know, just some puppy time, you know. But I have a leash that I specifically use for Sam's house because it's not nearly as bulky. It restrains him a little bit more. It's the only leash that I can't use on my walker. But it's very useful because it locks in place of where the length that you want it. So it's very, very useful for taking him to Sam's house. So that leash is over there by the front door. And then we have stuff by the back door for when he goes potty. Of course, he's got his chain over there, which actually right now is leashes that go by the front door. But when the neighbors took him, they took his chain. And the the pound, I can't remember what they're called for some reason all of a sudden. But when we got him back, the clip on it was damaged, so Sam, because I was inside waiting to get the chain because the guy in there was trying to play games with me, I was in there waiting for it. They brought it out to Sam. He thought he didn't know why I wasn't out there yet. He was starting to get frustrated because, like, the guy had me in there waiting for the chain while it was brought out to Sam instead of to me while he had me waiting. The guy had me waiting. So rude. He knew I was standing there waiting for it. He knew. I mean, Sam didn't, but the guy did. And he just had me standing there, just waiting on him. Would you stop it? No. So, yeah. So, we didn't get the chain back. So, right now, we're using leashes, just kind of like hooked together, as his chain, which is not very, very good for putting him out to go potty because they can unhook from each other. So yeah, I don't like using that for his potty chain. I do have one that I just ordered last night actually, that should come, said Friday. It might come sooner, it might come later, we'll see, because it didn't ship yet because I ordered it last night. But so we've got his chain. We've got a pair of boots out there for over there for me. I do need to put a coat over there for me. He has boots coming for him. He has a towel in case it rains by the door. He's got balls over there by the door. Trying to remember everything I have over there for him. I have stuff over there for me for like reading and just kind of keeping myself entertained. My little pouch of suction fidgets and um, my device that I'm using as a surface for that is over there. I have coloring over there. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff over there for us that I kind of uh, need to find a better way to hang up. What I'm using right now isn't working. There's like 3 screws in the wall holding up a hanger that's made for belts or scarves, and it's starting to bend. And yeah, I so that clothesline that I bought, I think it was last month. Um, I think it was last month. Might have been the month before. I don't remember. I know I bought it. um, that I put in the spare room to dry my clothes is working great. So I bought another one last night that I'm waiting for to put up right there by the door to start hanging our outside stuff. I will be putting those all up and down the hallway for laundry, but that spot specifically right there on that wall is for our outside stuff, to go outside when for potty. But he's getting boots. He's getting slippers for socks for Sam's house because he has a tendency to rip up Sam's rug, and Sam just got new tile. So, and I do clip his nails, but I mean it doesn't matter. He gets so excited when he's over there that he just runs around. He doesn't do that here, but he gets so excited when he goes over there that he just runs around all excitedly and starts scratching everything up. So getting him socks for over there. Getting him a Furby for when I'm not home. To help calm him down when I'm not home. Um, but I do want to get him a coat. Unfortunately, I could not afford the coat this month. There was other things I needed to buy. Like there's this mesh screen door thing that you can like just kind of put on your door frame. And it zips open and closed, and animals can't get through it. So I want to put that. I do want to put it on all of my doors, to be honest. Um, but I really want to put it specifically on my spare room, because my spare room is kind of my laundry drying room, and I also want to make it into my. You got boogers in your nose. I want to make it into my little sanctuary, where I can just like have a meditation chair and sit there and meditate, and have my yoga stuff and my books and all that stuff. If I can manage to at some point build on, I will end up making my room into a library. But for now, um, my and I would actually make the part of the addition into the laundry room. Um, I would want to put in a wash tub for the washer, and put all of my laundry hanging stuff up in there. Um, but but for now, until I have an addition, if I ever can afford to get an addition put on, um, you know, it works for now. I don't have all of my books here anyway. I miss my books. I really miss my books. But, it is what it is. So it's very important to have um have your dog's stuff right where you know you're going to use them. Like I also have in my backpack to go to Sam's house, I have a couple of balls in there. I have a bone that I put peanut butter in for him over there. Um and I have this like this unicorn toy that like shoots balls out of his mouth, out of its mouth, to kind of encourage him to um come back and bring it back to me. Um so like to help play fetch with him. Um got a few things in there for to entertain him in that backpack. But it's very good to have all your animals, your dog stuff where you need it when you're leaving, so that you don't forget to grab it and you don't forget that they need it, and you know, all of that stuff. And also on top of it, all of his stuff for leaving the house, his treat bag, his potty bag, and his disposable potty bag. Um, you know, there's the bag that holds the bags, and there's the bag that holds the used bags. um, so that stuff is on my walker. I keep getting crap from uh people at the door when I go to probation, the officers at the door, about what I bring with me. It does not say that you cannot bring bags for your dog to go potty. It does not say that. They have never had that rule. It is not a thing, but yet they gave me crap for it. Kind of frustrating, because I'm not gonna walk my dog all the way across town or damn near across town, halfway across town, to with no way to clean up his poop. I'm not gonna do it. If he's gonna be walking with me, he's going to be able to go to the bathroom without me breaking the law to do it, because it is illegal to leave poop on the sidewalk. It is illegal. I'm not going to break the law because they're butthurt that I brought bags for him to go potty. It is my job, it is my responsibility to clean up after him when he walks with me. And I'm not going to fail that responsibility because somebody at the door is butthurt that I'm doing my job as a pet owner. So, yeah. That's kind of a ridiculous thing to harass somebody over when they have a dog. You're giving me crap for doing my job as a pet owner and cleaning up the poop, but it's illegal to leave it there. Would you rather I leave it there and break the law? I would rather make sure I do the right thing and clean it up so people don't step in it, because I get pissed off when I step in other people's dog shit. It pisses me off. I don't like it. I don't want it on my shoes. It makes me very angry. Especially when it takes me a week for my shoes to dry after I wash them. It makes me mad. So, I like to make sure that I'm not like that and cleaning up after my dog and making sure that other people aren't stepping in his crap. So, you know, I'm bringing his poop stuff with me no matter what people have, what issues people have with it. They've got an issue with it. That's their issue. They can deal with it. I'm not breaking the law to make somebody feel more comfortable. So, it is what it is. I normally typically bring food with me for him and water with me for him, but it's not allowed there. So, that's something I save for if we go anywhere else. Like if I have to go to Verizon, for some reason, I'll make sure that we both have something to eat and drink on the way there and the way back. but it's not allowed there. So the whole way to and from check-in, neither one of us are properly hydrated and properly fed, um, because it's not allowed there. They expect me to leave my stuff outside, and I'm not leaving my stuff outside for it to get stolen. Not a thing that's going to happen. I'd rather try to make it quick so we can get back home, so he can have his water, I can have my water, and he can eat and I can eat. And it's honestly kind of illegal to tell me I can't bring food with me because of my diabetes. Um, Walking that far will make my sugar drop. A lot of the time, by the time I get there, my sugar is already starting to get low, and then I have to walk all the way back home with nothing to bring my sugar back up. So it is actually illegal to tell me that I can't bring food in there for myself because of my diabetes. But I try to make it quick and try to make it home. And if I start to teeter a little bit, that's why I bring Siren with me. That's the whole reason. Not really for my blood sugar, more for my legs and my fibromyalgia. Um, because, the cartilage in my knees and my hips is disintegrating, and then on top of it I have fibromyalgia. But he's there. He'll help me get home. I mean, during months that there isn't snow, I have the walker for support and him. During the winter it's going to be a lot harder because walkers don't go through snow. So I'm going to have to use him and only him for support to get back and forth, until it's over in March. But so, um, you know, just hope to God that I can make it with my sugar dropping and no water and to get back and forth, and just cross our fingers and hope. Cross our fingers and hope that Siren and I can just do it and get it done, for the last few months we have left during the winter with no walker. But yeah, when I leave the house to go anywhere else with him on foot, I always make sure I have a container of food, a big thing full of water, water for me, something for me to eat, and his treats. We have to actually bring a very limited amount of treats too when we go to check in, because we're not allowed to have that either. So he has to eat all of his treats before we get there. So yeah. But I mean, we are prepared when we leave the house to go anywhere else. When we go there, we can't be prepared because they don't allow it. But anywhere else, we are highly prepared. I wanted to get him a coat, but couldn't afford it this month. But at least he's getting boots because, between the salt and the snow, he's gonna need boots. He's gonna need them. Walking all the way to probation, to check in every month, until you know until it's over. The snow won't be gone by the time it's over. Um, so, I mean, he's gonna need boots. It's important to have his feet be safe, um, because I mean that's a long walk for a dog in the snow and on ice. And with him fully supporting me, I'm going to need him to be more physically stable than just on his paws. And, you know, with ice, that's hard to do. Even for a dog, that's hard to do. And with salt all over everything, too, salt can get embedded in their paws and it can very badly hurt them. So it's very important to have shoes for him during the winter to go back and forth, um, to check in. And I am going to try to get him used to them, to go, when we go potty and stuff. So I'm going to have them by the back door, to go potty so he can get used to them, because I know how it is when they've never worn them before. they don't know how to wear them. They might try to take them off. They look goofy trying to walk, you know, so I want them to be used to them by the time I go back to check in. So there's that. Um, okay. Toys and books by the toilet. That is very important for ADHD. For me anyway. Because when I go to the bathroom, um, sometimes because I have IBS from my fibro. I have IBS. Sometimes sometimes it just doesn't want to happen, and so making sure you're relaxed, and um, that's pretty important to have something by the toilet to help you relax. So I have books and fidget toys by my toilet, toys in the shower, um, and toys in the kitchen. Okay, so when I'm taking a shower, um, sometimes I don't want to do it, you know. I mean, most of the time I want to take a shower, most of the time, because I love showers. It's very refreshing. I love to feel clean, but once I get in there, sometimes I just get so tired. Um, and this is another fibro issue. But when I have toys in the shower, it helps bring up my dopamine, so I can focus more on getting clean. And if I'm having a fibro issue where I need to take a hot bath, those are useful for that too, because it actually keeps me in the bath longer to soothe my muscles longer, because I will get bored in the bath. Having books and toys in the bath when I'm trying to soothe my muscles is very important to keep me actually sitting there um and soaking it in, instead of getting bored and being like, screw this, I want out. What a waste of hot water. Dry erase board in the kitchen. Now, I don't use this for my grocery list. The dry erase board in my kitchen is not for getting groceries. um I would not be able to remember to write it all down to take it to the store if I just put it on the dry erase board. Um, so that's not what I use it for. In fact, what I use it for is a lot more useful than writing a grocery list. Um, so what I use the dry erase board for in my kitchen, and I have multiple dry erase boards. I actually have like dry erase sleeves that I put on the fridge. Because it's just easier that way, less clunky. But I have one, two, four of them. Okay, so the reason I have dry erase boards all over, pretty much all over my kitchen, I have two on my main fridge, and then I have two on my mini fridge. I forget what I have in my house to make, what food I have in here. I forget. Um, and that's an ADHD problem. It's also a fibro problem, because you forget things a lot when you have fibromyalgia too. Um, but I will forget what I have to eat in the kitchen. And when I'm trying to figure out what to make and I don't know what I have, it could take hours of searching through cupboards and refrigerators and freezers to look for what I have, to figure out what I want to eat before I even start cooking. Hours of just searching through shit. So the reason why the dry erase boards are useful is because, and I thought of this myself, this was my idea. I've been using it for many years. Because I got sick of having to do this, spend hours looking for food and then just giving up because I just wasted all my energy looking for food instead of actually making it. I have a limited amount of energy, and if I spend it all looking for something to make, eventually I'm just gonna give up and not eat. So writing down everything I have in the house to eat on the dry erase board, and then when I run out of it, erase it from off the board and put it on my actual paper list. I know, save paper, but I mean, it's the only thing that works for me for grocery lists. It's the only thing that works. Just having a paper pad in my purse. It's the only thing that works. I'm sorry, but it is. I know it's a waste of paper, but it's the only thing that works for me. But having the dry erase board makes everything so much easier because when I'm hungry, I can look down the list, and then the only thing I'm struggling with at that point is deciding between what I have already written down, already know what I have for it. Um, already know what I can make. Just deciding what I want to make. That's the only struggle that I deal with at that point because it's all right there. I don't have to search for anything until I decide what I'm going to make. But but it's all right there. Just a list of stuff that I can make, list of stuff I have for breakfast, list of stuff I have for my afternoon snack. Well, not my afternoon snack, but my lunch snack. Because I don't eat lunch. What I have to make for dinner, what I have for desserts, what I have for drinks. Everything I have to eat in the house is written on these lists. And I do categorize them too. Each list is something different. Like I have one that has a shark in the sleeve, like a dry erase shark. That the dry erase board that the dry erase boards